No sound. Morning, guys. I woke up 5 minutes ago. Woo. Yeah. Guys, give me like 10 minutes to wake up, okay? We're just chilling right now. We're just chilling. Oh, I'm gonna fall asleep. Oh my god. I wasn't ready for this. Morning Fnatic Nemesis with Fnatic Selfmade. If Fnatic's making some announcements today, guys. I'm doing quickly this Costream and then I'm flying. So I won't be able to stream later. Kappa. Do I think Dopa, if Dopa got unbanned, he would instantly get on a top LCK team? I'm gonna be honest with you, if Dopa got unbanned, he would never be a professional player. He's not a good player. In a competitive setting, his champion pool is extremely low and his mechanics are bad. He's not, I don't even know if he'd be top 10, like no joke. Dopa would be a good pro player perhaps many years ago, not right now. Nowadays, he's just not good enough. Newer generations of player has surpassed him. He wouldn't last 10 minutes against Showy and then... And he self-admits that too.
We're here at the LCK. It is GENG up against KT Rolster for a second match of the night.
Ready for 3 games of Lucian Nami and Zarlulu? Yeah. Yeah. I hope that's not what I wake up for. At 9:20 AM.
We don't know because KT sometimes look like a 12 out of 10 and sometimes
honestly,
3 out of 10.
This could be a close series, to be honest.
Yeah, let us remind ourselves that it was
KT has decent roster.
And afterwards, KT BT+. So we genuinely no clue what's happening here today.
920 isn't even that
Same
bad.
predictions go towards
I know
GG.
it's not
They
bad,
have overall
but
been a very stable
my sleep
team.
schedule
They've been able to play
makes it
both
bad.
aggressively around multiple sides of the map, but up against KT, sometimes it feels like
GENG and T1 are now
KT
first.
does
Pretty
as
impressive,
opposed
honestly.
to what their opponents do, because as you point out, KT in their
Didn't
best
expect
form
GENG to
can
be
anyone, and KT
tied
can
for
convince
first
themselves
place
like no one else can.
with this
GENG in their
roster.
best form have beaten most
But they
teams,
haven't
I
played
think
T1
that's-
yet, which they will, right?
You know, our top teams, I don't think it's that they're actually practicing weird strats or new stuff, but they tend to drop games out of nowhere against teams that they're much better than. And I think that, especially now towards the end of round robin 1,
DRX,
really
man.
need to tighten things up. You don't want to be dropping random games. You want to make sure that you
DRX
kind of
did a bit of a downgrade in the roster.
and you're taking 2 zeros as much as possible. As
That's what makes League of Legends so boring, IMO.
tied first place now.
It's like
And KT,
DRX wins Worlds,
win.
but then the whole roster just goes kaboom. So now it's like, oh, a roster in season 12 won Worlds, and that's it. It's so weird to me. I feel like if T1 won Worlds, it would be so much better.
BDD, his Yone performance has been really, really good. We also saw that the Yone as a whole has looked fairly lackluster here, but yeah, the most.
Why does that happen?
Yone play of
I
all
mean-
time is still the trophy game. That one.
Yeah.
Why the roster got blown up is very obvious.
That was against
The players can get better offers in other teams, way better salaries or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Their pro career can be very short,
2022 Summer
so
champions, Doran Peanut and
going
Shoni
for
versus
money is
Lehens.
completely
Aiming
understandable.
ready to get carried by Lehens, who knows GENG well, and Doran, I'm not too worried. I mean, it's one thing to say you know the strategies, but I think in this meta especially, things are pretty set in stone in terms of what teams want to do and what style they want to play and what drafts that we see. I'm not sure that a little bit of extra, you know, inside information from
Man, like-
is gonna get them over the line, personally.
Imagine being a caster in League of Legends. And you have to just talk about the same drafts every series. Surely it gets boring at some point, right? I'm only doing Costream right now. I'll definitely be live later then.
How this team plays out in practice.
Do I think they're gonna pick Aesol? No. This is not reworked Aesol.
Very quick and very convincingly. In the current meta, having an average win time that's as low as this is in of itself, I think, very impressive. And it's not like
You have any tips in early game fights as a control mage like Victor?
The aggressive drafts, they've really been kind of trying a
The
bunch of
tip I
stuff.
can give you is play well.
I'll
Playing
be
well
happy.
means
That was something that should not be
that you
repeated.
position well, that you space well, that you throw abilities well, that you don't miss your skill shots, that you cast them on the right targets, that you cast them off cooldown whenever you can. That's what playing well means.
Down in the bottom side, these two guys have become just really solid, just getting better and better every single time. Top side of the map, same as last year. Still
Got some
extremely
hotfixes,
strong,
I'll track them
and
later.
that has been a recipe for success for this squad.
Yeah, I had the morning voice.
Even though
My bad.
Ruler is obviously sorely missed.
The
was
deep morning
one of the
voice.
best carries in the Yasuke for basically since he won Worlds. Never really dropped too far off the ladder. Never going to be easy to follow up. And for Pace, had a really
I met one of my classmates yesterday from elementary school that I haven't seen for years. And he had so much... He has such a deep voice, I didn't even recognize him, genuinely.
They can still play the same style. And that to me I think is something that they're really
Hi Arnold.
Whereas this
What's
team
for breakfast? Nothing.
make the time machine
Water
show
is for
a lot,
breakfast.
But the reality is, even without the players are right now is like
Honestly, the only thing I could eat is a yogurt, but I'm fine.
Trash talk coming out is already. Lehens is getting in their face.
We're getting a win today, Arnold, right?
His team has been strong. Keen has really stepped it up. His Jax has been really nice to watch, actually. Even I can say.
even felt
that even
What's up
even
with
a
Annie?
known Jax
She got
fan
buffs with the changes,
can,
so her win rate has
can notice
increased.
and respect the play of Keen on this pick so far. And that will be a champion of contention. Also, aiming Lehens have played some interesting duos. You know, the duo that's played the most of Ezreal Karma, the most obvious Ezreal Karma at least, and have looked pretty strong.
Honestly, yeah, I don't know.
And key player matchup, Keen versus Doran. Doran overall has been very, very strong in terms of what he's been able to provide for GENG. If you look at the consistency, he had a really great Camille game recently.
Stats, baby. I love stats.
A pick like Sante, something that's a bit more supportive and more.
I love stats.
Has been good. Can't really complain. But
now that he played ASO, what's the verdict?
Say 2019. Well, I think that is a
his early game is not as bad as it looks. It's not a good early game, but it's laneable against a lot of champions. I think he's very bad into CC. He cannot play into CC champions, and I think he's very bad into mobility. If he can cast Q, he seems to be decent. I think at level 9 he has a heat spike, and from level 9 to around level 14, 15 he's extremely strong, because that's when like early game to mid game is. Once you get to like level 17, 18, where 5 and 6 items are present, he seems to be extremely bad. His E is an incredibly strong spell, but the execute, you cannot really execute people with it, because they don't really stand in it in most cases. Like, of course, unless they get CC'd, it's very hard to get an execute on his E. His W, if you interrupt it, he has no escape. If he gets a kill or assist, his W feels very nice in fights. And then his ult, I would say... What is even a Renaissance passive? I forgot. Oh, the Stardust. I'm so stupid. His ult is very underwhelming. He gets a pretty bad ult. If the ult is not empowered, it seems like the ult does no damage, and it's very easy to miss. His ult damage is basically the same as the old ult, and the old ult already was struggling with damage. If you have the empowered ult, the ult is much better, because at least it hits everyone, so they have no way of dodging it. However, the damage is a little bit better, but not by much. So, his ult is definitely underwhelming, I think. His ult is garbage. It's not garbage, but yeah. It's just as underwhelming as the previous ult, honestly. Both ults are just whatever. Face has a fan next to his fire mouse hand. I didn't know that was allowed. Really? I need to see that.
First game. Casted in the first ban. Ooh.
The nerf is starter stacking? I'll check, during the games. After this game I'll check the patch notes. How do you rate pace compared to other LCK ADCs? Honestly, I think it's like top 3, top 4 from what I've seen. He's pretty good. He doesn't seem to be hinting as much as he did in my solo games, which is good news. Steam has finished owning Apex Legends. Nice, thank you, Steam.
And for KT, you have a couple of options that you can go for here with the casting event already. I would not be
surprised I wasn't lagging. Actually, I was lagging for a bit. And now I should be fine.
Do note, Azir still open.
Oh, we banned Cassante. Okay. So, first pick here is gonna be like what? Lucian Nami perhaps? Zari Lulu, both are open. Perhaps we're gonna see a Sejuani or a Vi or Varus. Varus first pick perhaps. What do you think of DN? I think it's one of the worst names I've ever seen. Genuinely. Thank you, Shiny Spirit, for the resub.
I don't know. Even with it available here, and even with how strong of an Azir player BDD is.
Isn't this a Varus angle?
Sejuani is another big one.
Oh, Nami first pick. I saw some Riot dev talk about how Lucian is the one picked before Nami, and I'm just like, what? No team. Who picks Lucian before Nami? You have to be stupid to do that. I also think breaking it is not good, because Lucian side loses the trade. Honestly, Zarilulu is the play here.
We knew, chat. We
Okay,
shouldn't
they
have
went
gone
Vi
wrong.
as well.
Also the Vi
Shocking.
play,
Now we're gonna see a Wukong or Sejuani and an Illusion. Wow. Wow, no way. And now we're gonna see a Lulu on free before it gets banned.
Yeah, but how did you
Wow.
Hey, that's an analyst's secret. Can't tell anyone about that.
know?
Drafting is just so entertaining nowadays.
I know. That's okay. You know, I'm not as good as.
This is what I woke up for.
One day, fellas. One day
Yeah.
she'll get it. One day you'll get it.
Maybe in a game. Maybe next time how much
Okay.
experts play. You'll bring
Max
that up.
ban,
Turns out
that's
the hidden
a good
export
ban
method
for
and
both
not
teams.
just Halo blades.
Honestly, I don't know why Genji's banning Jax. Genji should just blind Jax on 4. Genuinely. Champ is OP.
Makes sense. Jack's gonna
What
get
are you even
back
afraid
to
of?
facts pay.
Blinding this champ. I don't understand. They should literally just blind Jax on 4.
Drafts being the same every time.
It's fine, because Dora wants to play Nar, so I understand why they're not blinding Jax on 4. It's Nar time, baby. Nar is like that secret Pokemon that Doran always wants to play, you know? It's his favorite Pokemon. Did I see the conversation Adas had with the devs? No, I haven't.
Oh.
Because for Gen G, then the question becomes,
I
do
could
you want
watch
to
it if there's like a
downgrade
YouTube
the
video
Doran,
maybe.
which I do think is very important.
Azir and
Something
Jace.
great, but at the cost
Yeah.
the run free.
I love these bans.
What's going to be the final ban here? Curious about this one. Will it be just another top laner, or perhaps the Akali away from Chovy?
Jace ban?
Akali
I've heard that
very
Jace is
strong
very
in skip
popular in
and
scrims right now, in EU and NA, and apparently it's
unless you're
OP.
Guangdong and you decide to
Quote
ban in the
unquote.
second
So,
round.
Well, they won the game,
probably
so
today, later, when we see LEC, we might see a lot of Jace too. There's no way he's playing Nar for the 5,000th time. There's no way he's playing Nar.
very often, and Doran has his inconsistencies. Some games he looks amazing, some games
There's no way he's playing Nar, guys. There's no way.
but it's very clear. Gen G wants to give the counter pick over.
Oh,
What? He wants to lose? Speaking Zoe?
You're not,
happening?
No, you're not blind to that.
Camille.
Camille. Okay.
Does make sense. Camille already.
Syndra is the best. Syndra is the best. Syndra is the best. Pick Syndra. Pick Syndra.
Because we have Nar and there is
Or Victor.
Silas
Yeah.
available.
Silas is kind of falling
Syndra,
off
Victor are literally best picks here.
big time in terms of win rate.
Yeah, blind Silas even
Rise is nerfed.
is quite scary because the Tristana has been on the rise, and that to me is one of those matchups where I'm like, I don't know how that's
We're gonna get see a Rise Victor handshake.
Jovi's laughing. It's not.
Pick Syndra, it's better than...
Because Victor
Syndra is for
actually
sure better than
but
Victor
we're
here.
not
It's not even
excited about
close.
that. I don't know if anyone can be excited about Victor, but we have already
Syndra is way
that
better than
the
Victor.
Rise doesn't really get to
Whatever.
the lane. He gets outranged and he gets.
They're on 13.1B, so he's in fact not nerfed.
It's not the most exciting.
What are you talking about? Rise is nerfed. Rise is nerfed on 13.1, I think. Patch notes.
Ability to snowball that bottom half of the map, and even if you don't, if you're on even foot.
No, he's nerfed on 13.1B.
For KT, a lot more aggressive.
This is the patch he's nerfed on.
oriented. Need to play a bit more forward because if they play neutral too slow, they will be in trouble. And trying to play dive into a Victor
Joey doesn't play Syndra.
can be a tough.
No, the problem is that no one plays Syndra, and I don't know why. I genuinely think she's like top 3 mid.
They just
No one plays
go
her.
ahead
I don't
and
know
go
why.
for a 1-3-1 because
She's good.
you know they have Camille, they have Rise. We've seen this before. We've seen tons of teams try to go for this. As he's from Brazil and he's a KT Rolster fan.
As we know, Brazil is very far away from Korea.
Yeah.
How much was it? 33
Our,
hours?
our good friend, you may know of him, Achilleos, just flew over there for Valoranting, and it took him 33 hours.
Yeah. So, hats off to this fan coming to Lowell Park. Really cool to see. Yeah, 1-3-1 might be the only.
Wait, did she draw that, by the way? That's so amazing.
If they are unable
Patch notes
to-
overrated, just need to play Grassy or Red Dot on Reddit.
Nami and the Rise inside
True.
can definitely bolster that. But even though it's not interesting,
You should read Reddit for some roster building too, Arnold. They're gonna make you a great roster for next year.
Well, guys, we got game one loaded up. Gen G versus KT. Let's hop onto the Rift.
They don't go first strike? Yeah, that's probably a big reason why Singer sucks when they play it. For one draft? GENG. I think. To be honest, it's a pretty even draft. Both teams have
No, it's
like their win conditions here in draft. Lucian Nami.
Is it not?
well on one side.
Lucian Nami is pretty good.
yeah.
Camille is a
I
pretty,
see.
you know, Camille can really pop off this game.
6 man. Really.
What the hell is Chovy playing in his runes? Why is he playing Comet Resolve, Victor?
Great start to this to the series, Val.
5 plus 1 is 6. You're right.
Ionian and Sorcerer Castellan? Ionian is better.
Math on stream, but
That one I
felt safe about this.
Don't they get bored of these
a little
drafts?
bit risky, but
But they're pro
I
players.
win for it, and thankfully it worked.
The
out.
like these drafts are literally comfort for pro players. You understand that, right, guys?
When I
Um,
have to measure
like,
ratios for
Pro players played these matchups and these champions for years.
Yeah.
Doran has played Gnar literally for 10 years in his life.
initially, and both junglers probably salivating looking at these.
Oh my god, they're already killing each other level 1. What the hell is going on here?
Knowing that his
Okay, so this is gonna become
I guess Victor's
a very low HP lane here, and junglers could adapt their pathing to go level 2 mid this game.
and he
on
did
both
a good job
sides.
of that.
This is a really good adaptation if any of them is calling it. I mean, it's LCK, they probably won't do it, but holy moly.
Corrupting pot.
They have the same.
No, he does.
So when they're low HP, it's a bit better for Victor, because when he gets level 2, he kinda outranges the Ryze and he can start eating him down.
No difference there.
Ryze needs kinda level 3
To the lane.
to really crash the cannon wave and just reset here and get a little bit of a cheater
This is a
recall.
matchup that,
But he went E level 1, which means he can get Q level 2, which should give him some push power. I don't know why we're not seeing mid lane right now.
gets a lot more tough to navigate with substantial all-in.
But most of probably both of them are playing second win, so the sustain is pretty high.
So Doran going to have to be very, very careful because this Camille is a genuine win condition in case she does get too far ahead.
Okay, level 3 Wukong gank on bot lane.
As
Ward is coming in.
Yet for Lahans.
He dodged the ward, bomb hitting proc. There's so much trading going on bot lane. It seems like GENG is losing this really hard.
Against this, Aiming and Lahens are handling this early spot in the lane very well.
And do note, this is with Pace also going Doran's Blade. Aiming,
Yeah.
going to
GENG, it
have
seems like GENG's
a
bot
bit
lane is
less
losing 2-2.
but will have
Base 1 D-Blade, which means last sustain via no potions. Lulu's gonna take a base already,
rough.
which I think is understandable, because if he doesn't
Pace will get
take
the
a
cannon,
base, that's a good cannon
Yes.
pickup.
that is
If he doesn't take the
that's what
base,
matters.
then
Do you get the cannon?
they'll be way too low. Needs to reset right there.
Topside for Keen, you know, they were able to, well, it was through
He's gonna dip the tower a bit
trying to get counterpick it
because
mid
of
for
Wukong.
Chovy rather than for Doran and Tom.
Jungle being balanced role as
Flying
usual.
off, so that gave
This is really rough start for GENG, because now what can happen is
We'll see how that
they're just
goes.
gonna get
This
zoned
is
perhaps,
becoming a
not
little
sure.
bit of a disaster
I think
because
GENG
it's
should
really
go through.
embraced
No?
The current bot meta and Pays maybe one step too
They didn't
forward.
go through.
He will have to heal and
I was thinking they both flash forward, because Nami had no spells and Lucian had no spells. So I was thinking both flash heal forward and they get on their tower and they'd be fine, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe they get dove anyway, I'm not sure.
Will now make their way
But there was
back.
like a moment in time where,
Lahens actually got the play.
yeah, there was no spells. Well, they lost a lot here, they know Peanut is coming on bot lane, so they can't continue sieging. This is really good for KT.
Definitely a good zoning to come through here. And now Peanut.
And you guys will see how, like, in jungle, experience lead in a Wukong Y matchup does not matter because of catch-up XP being so
7 seconds.
obnoxious in this game.
No, they don't know.
they
And
don't have any idea.
Looking for a bot lane gank right now.
There's the slow, the glitter lamps
I'm
is
not
going to
sure
be big, but
if this is
Aiming
gonna
and
really
Lahens
work
notice
besides a
something coming.
flash.
Flash here from Aiming. Is the damage enough? Flash in from
Ooh,
Peanut,
the
and that's
PTA is
Chovy.
actually enough
Peanut
damage. Wow.
will be picking up first
I didn't
blood
think that was
following.
gonna work. I guess double longsword and PTA is really a lot
initially
of
that
damage.
zoning off from Aiming and Lahens and Cuz I love. That was a good call. But sticking around for so long, even though you keep Pace in the light of the way, there's somewhat of diminishing returns because you're also not, right, being able to lost it as well as maybe you would like to. And it gave Peanut ample opportunity to make his way over towards the
Not
bottom
bad.
of the map.
Let's see again.
Yeah, there's no vision here. And they had vision.
So what, how
How
Aiming can maybe survive this gank is if he flashes the Q. If he flashes the Q damage, he will survive.
might be the reason why we get this kill here. I haven't really talked about the runes yet, but if this is
Arisiki, could Nami hold that wave?
which
No.
recently has been big as
I don't think
Pinat's
so.
confirmation. Only Lucian got the turret play gold, so that's actually
Okay,
great.
Chow even
So
tier.
KT for that one. But if
Not
you
bad.
have Aftershock or
I don't like
Comfort,
corruption
look at the
potion
top
start
line.
and
So
rise.
ATA,
It's so
early
on
aggression is
both
big,
of them.
and,
Wait, that's a solo kill. What is he doing?
Well, that was a big mistake.
What is he
Very, very
doing?
obvious that Doran was about to hit Mega, and Keen was like, "Here you go."
Oh, Valdez.
I do not know what to say about that one, Chronicler.
We have both. We have the entirety of KT in 2 minutes.
Doran's playing his Gnar for 10,000 times and still getting solo kills.
Reinforcements are coming.
You're
He's in the
kidding
light.
me.
Might be in deep trouble here. Peanut is on his way. Doran has TP.
Double
Oh my
flash,
god.
Doran
The
is
camp on
really
bot lane here.
really
Oh,
speedy.
no, 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 no,
He's
no.
delayed to get out of this.
I think Genji is dead here.
Bubble is down now.
You're fine.
I mean, Victor and Vi are coming. The wave is a bit late. Oh,
Here's
TP.
TP, and BD's gonna take 2 turret
Chow is
shots
just basing. That's correct
with the
play.
TP. I suppose
Yeah, that kind of sucks for Doran that he's
Doran
burning
leaves.
TP for that, but at least it makes Genji's bot lane survive for a bit longer.
They did force a TP.
Yeah, the TP for.
They're gonna get the Jake though with the TP, so not the worst TP, and since Camille is such a slow pushing champion, Doran won't even lose a lot on top, and he'll be able to just catch the slow push that Kin is building right now, so honestly,
Not a good look
not too
here,
bad.
As the over-aggression from KT. As mentioned, they need to play this way with this type of draft, but you also need to do it measured. And in this case, Genji read the players. Oh, yeah, this.
So we're level 6,
About to hit Mega.
and we walk up for a minion.
I don't know. Maybe,
We do a little bit of trolling.
Maybe he was. Oh, let's.
Well, yes, they are very happy about the about the way that one turned out for sure.
Maybe Keen thought he was gonna hit 6 off of the one minion, and he wanted to like. But even then, like even if you like ult and then you dodge it, I don't think you then win. So I just don't know. I don't see it.
You might be right though. Like maybe that was the angle he was going for because I mean it's Keen, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and that was a very obvious big mistake. But like
Yeah.
the guy must have had some kind of.
Well, that's my guess. Where maybe he had because he was sitting on cookies. So you have your cookie and your level 6 level up. Gnar throws an ult into the wall. Maybe he buffers another skill. You dodge that. Not sure because they were also playing on the cross map. So as far as I can remember, there wasn't anyone there.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Well, KT
Oh, he will get the
really
hands.
raised his bottom side
Oh,
meta. We're trying to
that's
kill
a
the Lucian
good
and down
kill.
low aiming, and they turn this around so beautifully.
Not
to
bad.
GG. They say, you know
Maybe
what?
Pace didn't have to
We know you're
flash.
coming, we don't care.
They're still gonna go?
Sets it up. Ingo's
Oh,
being
that might be a bit too far, or maybe not. 1 for 1. Victor gets a passive stack here though, so this is really good for Victor. He gets assist, which is 25 fragments for his passive.
Pace isn't even 6. It's supposed to already be winning the matchup.
Well,
Oh. And
That's really
meanwhile,
good.
Yeah, no, he was.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Cho
Honestly, like,
which in this case actually
what
is
is Riot gonna do so junglers don't pat the bot lane 24/7?
starts to go bot.
Just look at that. Really good Q into really good R.
now.
Pace flashes the Nami bubble, but it's probably not needed.
Dodging the bubble.
And then here,
You don't need to go for this.
Chovy goes over the wall and just
Bit over the top,
dishes
but
out
okay.
most of
Like
his
another,
spells.
onto your Zeri. Chovy's like, guys, I helped.
burns also
Bye.
Wukong flash.
Because
I do laser.
as funny as it is, with how
And now
Genji's responding
Victor has
to
E-evolve, so
KT bot side roams,
he can clear
the
waves
right
into
move is
Rise
actually
pretty
to just
easily.
Play for plates and play for the wave because Victor.
God, Nari is such an annoying champ to lane against. It's like playing against a mini AD carry.
Same,
in lane.
timer that the Rise will be. So Genji with Peanut respond extremely well. He's gonna take a bit of a tickle here, but we'll be completely fine. And now the map is collapsing around KT, and with Keen already behind, 1-3-1 is going to be tough.
Man, this champ is
Zeri
so annoying to
rapidly
lane
accelerated,
against.
like, taking early
You're
objectives.
playing against a ranged AD carry, and he all of a sudden gets a Mega Gnar and becomes a fucking
Look at GG.
beast.
Like Zeri skating into a bunch of people when backed up by a Gnar and a Vi is going to be a really big threat. And if you're too far behind in terms of itemization, when you're KT, you're in really deep trouble. Like Aiming didn't even get to go for the early Dirk, you know, which a lot of the laning power that you can have with the Lucian Nami is kind of attributed to that. Oh, very rough, Valdez.
Yeah, absolutely. Peanut speaking of itemization, there's going to be a very scary sword. No one tell.
The internet?
No one tell the internet.
I think the internet.
Please hide it. Yeah, Peanut's going to use his lead to buy this item. And, I mean, there's Nami. But anyway, he's going to be very far ahead. He's going to get this Rift Herald for his team and just really catapult GENG ahead in this early game.
Yeah, really.
The Zeri is, you know, it's not quite a Zeri moment, especially because it's kind of like, I don't know. We'd have to ask Wolf on this one, actually. It's kind of close on that one, on that bottom play. Does that really count as a Zeri moment?
I'd say no, but I'm not the expert.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to.
We need the administrator.
That's a cool nickname.
Next Drake is coming
We
up
got nicknames. So Wolf's the administrator.
soon.
Well, what are the rest of us? I'm the cook. That's easy. I'm the cook.
I don't know if you want that as your nickname, Chronicler.
I think it's fine.
I think it could have some other meanings.
No, it's like I think that's okay. I love cooking. I know what to
Will
tell
we
you
let
about
you
this.
cook, though?
I have been known to.
Oh, he has
Doran
flash.
might be dead
Is
here.
that?
He tries to flash and hop away. He's about to hit Meganar, but can he even get it on time? He's going to hit them away. The wall misses, and that is a 3-on-1, not exactly fair.
You like Leandris more, Nasal? Yeah, Leandris felt the best yesterday. Mid
Great way to
best.
get away. He does.
Leandris felt the best.
And he will just Q.
I don't know, I couldn't get any like pop-off game really. It's such a weird champion.
Trying to set up a dive, aiming, and Lahen's
I'll play more today, but today he's already nerfed. Maybe he's gonna be open more.
When all is said and done, Chovy
This is not too bad for GENG.
top half of the
They get a nice Herald on bot lane.
Too many plays going
Victor
over there.
catches the top wave
Top.
with the TP.
And nice play from KT.
And
To try and focus and
probably they can maybe get Drake too.
in that top side, but your bot side still suffering for it pace.
Yeah, Liandry felt better because by buying Liandry components you got more AP than buying like Catalyst, which means that like when you eat in lane, you would kill minions easier with your E early game. So your early game power was up, so you would get more Stardust in lane. And then just in general, the damage difference between Liandry and Rot was big difference.
That's that mobility that this comp provides, right? So
You're just a bit squishier, but once you get like Raleigh and other HP items, you're good, you know.
Atlas is the weather
That's
man.
how it felt.
That makes sense, yeah.
Because he loves the clouds.
True. Doing that, and we do have this Cloud.
Do you think Ryze needs Magica boots? No, he doesn't.
Now by KT, GENG are kind of around.
Ryze already has high base MS, and the other trees are more value for him. So Katie got the one with the Dragon, now it's 1-for-1, Mountain Soul spawns. Not sure if GENG can fight here. I mean, Victor is pretty good with items. Oh, he flashes in, but there's no follow-up. Okay, Wukong just dies, that's another 25 stacks for... And another W by... Okay, what? What? What is Katie doing? I'm sorry, but they're so uncoordinated. Why are they fighting that? I feel like Vi is a stronger champ than Wukong in this fight, Victor is a stronger champ than Ryze in this fight. Lulu has an item over Nami, why are we fighting?
If they're on the same page maybe, but you miss a really big spiking element of your composition, which is dilution. And then I want to pay attention to the CC channel.
Nami ult completely misses.
Right, it's ult.
I have no idea. I mean, Wukong didn't even ult anyone.
The wild growth, and then Chovy makes sure that...
Gotta play in the top side. Doran's about to go mega.
Ooh.
Looks like they wanted to go in on this one. Peanut is again active on the map this time in the top side. Didn't amount to much.
Also, Jason chiming into the nicknames with me being Chronic Cackler, so I guess I can't escape that one. Thanks, Valdez.
You can be Chronic Cookler.
Oh my god.
That kind of works.
It was right in front of us.
It was right in front of our eyes. We have evolved this nickname over the course of the
Game looking really bad for KT right now.
I think this is the final form. No more evolution needed.
They did finally get the items though that they want on their champions. Double Sunder and Lucian Nami is online now.
Is a 160 CS 50.
What do you think about the Rylai's, or not Rylai's, Leandrews in this case? I mean, there is still a large amount of HP being built, but there's no, like, classic tank, right?
I
You
don't-
think it's still good?
Yeah, I don't think you need the tank specifically. Just like between the two Divine Sunderers,
So-
which,
Now being a range mini
Go,
AD carry
yeah,
again.
The Rod of Ages as well. Extra value you're going to get from the, I think it's called Madness passive, right? The extra damage that you do against targets with a ton of health, and then this
I like
shield
Chovy's
is
build.
the burn.
Lianji
like
tier.
it.
Going
And
Saraf.
looking at how a lot of the fights might play out, a little bit of the poking that you are going to be able to do with the Liandry's, I think, going to feel very, very good as well. First Turbot going to go over to Chovy, who, after his Tristana PvE game, now is taking a little bit more of an active role, but who cares, right? Because he's going to be
The thing,
monstrously bad.
the
Like
thing
he's-
that I love about Chovy,
Chovy cooking?
yeah, as we might have a little play down the bottom side. Even teleport here.
Okay.
He's in a lot of trouble. Still does not.
Nice
have
ult into
flash,
W,
and
he's
CC
perma-stunned.
should be good enough here, as Peanut has to go really deep for this
Peanut's
one,
probably
though.
gonna die for
This
it.
is just Lehens. It's just Lehens.
Chovy does a lot of damage, but now Lucian has Gale Force Flash.
As, yeah, just gonna flash on Chovy. He
Okay,
will
Chovy
be
that.
the
500
sacrificial
shutdown to Lucian.
victor in this case, and Peanut will get away at least.
What about the light Lulu gank?
Zari meanwhile getting very smith and maybe even tower damage. No, she won't get tower
Doran's really
damage.
gonna try to force this one. There's the wall.
Oh, but Lulu behind.
The gank
Now they can stop the Camille with Lulu ult if they really want to.
Trying get on top of this, Camille,
Okay,
and it will be
nice.
enough. The Zalite is there to help out in a 2v1.
Keen seems to be so disconnected from this game, like he just doesn't realize that.
Genji really running
Lulu can
away
be top.
with this one, winning, well, trading on the bottom half of the map will get punished for that one, and that's a big gold influx into aiming. Chovy giving over a large shutdown. Nice for KT, but then on the top half we have the Light immediately punishing together with Doran, who really is having an amazing Gnar game.
So let's see this again. So this is really easy combo. Vi ults the Victor, the Rise, and then Victor presses W. And if you don't have flash, you'll get pretty much insta-stunned. Technically, even if you have flash, I think you just will get stunned there. Yeah, it's just easy kill. Champions have enough damage to kill them.
And then, yeah. This is so frustrating as a top laner. Chovy's just gonna flash.
Yeah,
She's not gonna stand
just keeping it simple, you know.
shenanigans. But while
Just
we're
press
watching
F.
those replays, like Pace picked up Herald,
Yeah,
and is this is the problem. Genji really is the. It doesn't matter what you do. We're gonna get like 2 extra waves on every play, because like look at these CS numbers across the board.
Yeah.
Like the only one that's okay is aiming because he's
Okay,
getting
Jargon
a
up.
lot of CS, and then that's not even.
Chovy
taking
could get dove here.
shots.
He's gonna take the wave with him at least.
under the turret there is no wave as Peanut, or rather,
No,
Cuz
he
is
can't
taking a
even
bunch of
die.
damage as he goes in on this one. BD tried to tank it up.
Okay,
Take a look
can't
at
even
Genji's
die.
play, like, the second
Tier
this
2,
happens, they're taking a
bot
break,
lane that.
getting the bottom
Now they
tier
can go
2.
defend
It's-
mid lane.
Genji are just getting a huge win from all of this.
Lulu is shielding and speeding the Zari, so they go to the lane faster.
And say, okay, let's try to roll this
Not
into
sure about that
mid-turret as well.
TP, but I think he denied the cannon perhaps with the
They
TP.
have Herald. No problem at all. Yeah. Oh no. Not the top outer Valdez.
So they're shielding now top tier 1, Judge is gonna get top mid tier 1, possibly tier 2 as well, since the Herald is still alive.
Relatively even.
And like,
Now it's a 6k gold lead.
maybe if they killed Chovy, this would have.
They should be able to take this tower here in the next wave. They can dive them. They can dive them. Yeah, they can dive them.
Because why not?
But why is Katie defending this? You know they can dive you.
Huge amount of damage.
I swear, Katie is just like... Are their players serious?
Ult on. He's going to push everybody out by himself as his team backs.
It wants to crank up those DPS.
You
numbers.
know they can dive you. You're 3 people versus 5.
Catch up to Chovy's CS numbers.
Yeah, this game's done. Wow. Oh, can't wait to see what the desk does, because this is
Yeah, they're completely disconnected.
really cool showcase in how to accelerate a game. 2 failed early plays from KT,
It's so painfully obvious you can't defend the tower. Just leave it.
and also a nice antidote for what has been a relatively slow-paced week of League of Legends within the LCK.
Yeah,
Not so slow-paced anymore.
it's been nice today. Very fast pace, even in our first series. Teams just, you know, grabbing the game by the horns. You know that saying? Do they say that in the Netherlands? I feel like that might be like an American
I'm familiar with the expression. I have indeed heard it, but we don't. I don't think there's really a Dutch.
It's not like a thing that you say.
Well, it's tough because my Dutch has somewhat deteriorated because I barely speak it. Obviously, because who would I speak Dutch with? It's not a lot of Dutch.
Not a lot of people that speak.
Well, there's
Dutch,
also that. Yeah, in general, it's a pretty rare language.
Chronicler needs a pen pal.
Well, I mean, I still have friends and my family.
Wait, you have friends?
Yeah, was I not supposed to?
Well,
Is that not?
Well, just
should I not
don't have
that?
friends, so
I don't want to make you feel bad, Velvis. Man,
it's okay. It's all right.
you got me. We got each other.
Got
and we got
Chronicler.
League of
You
Legends.
can always speak Dutch to me.
I
will
I
respond.
have some things. Do you remember?
Yeah,
nothing really to say right now.
Yeah. Dankjewel, very good.
Sadly.
Sorry, Dankjewel.
No, you did good.
Yeah, perfect.
Close enough.
Bicycle.
Yeah.
That's another Dutch word,
Well,
right?
no.
I think
Well, it's definitely quintessentially Dutch, but
I think it counts.
Why did Zari not go
I think
Infinity on
it's-
the War
it used
seconds?
to be English, but now it's Dutch.
okay.
I think we're highlighting the
Infinity on the War
Xerath
second is not
and
good.
the fact that maybe now KT are going to start to try.
Infinity on the War are not better than a PD or Zeal item second. Zari just loves Zeal so much, he needs attacks with the moons, but
As the spike will be good, BDD. As we've pointed out in the past, this is ideal. You get your Roa and you get your Seraphs at the same time. Love to see.
honestly, Infinity second on champions is usually a bait. Not on everyone. It's really good on Caitlyn and it's really good on Samira. Those two are, for example, champions that like AD more than attack speed, and it's good second item.
They will not get it, but look, Doran's like, nah, I'm good. My team's invading the top half of the map. We have full vision.
This is what Division should have done in the first game of the last series.
Man, you can't expect that from Dundon. He's too busy being fly,
True.
having a big smile on
It's all
his
about
face.
the Baron right now.
Potentially could have just done Baron, but instead they're just gonna try to team fight. But
Well, they're
maybe
baiting it out.
KT realized this. So now Pays is mid.
Go, do it, Peanut. You know you want to. Come on.
Darn is back in the bot lane, but note how passively he is playing it still. He sees Ryze's top, so he's like, well, I guess I'm okay, probably.
Yeah, you can also not go for Baron at all here if you don't want to take any risk as GENG and just play for Drake.
Just waiting till Genji starts the Baron.
Risk, and you can hard force a team fight.
But they might not start the Baron yet. They probably was gonna wait for the Jargon first.
Which he has a lot of summoners, and so does the Light. And he's also getting very, very close to Quick Blades.
Why is Seraph second Baron Shadow Flame on Victory Skim?
Yeah.
Shadow Flame, Seraph is a better item than Shadow Flame.
The game has slowed down a bit, but it's kind of what we expected. Good vision control from GENG. Been very impressed by their macro so far in 2023. We talk a lot about how T1 are really, really fantastic about punishing on opposite sides of the map. You know, like you lose top turret, but
That's a free mountain. I guess you can just let Peanut or Doran solo it.
So really want to point them out. They have showcased this many times, even in this first game.
And the only thing they had to be careful of is not dropping the Baron.
Huge amount of value. There is a lot of health here for GENG. We have Doran going for the Starrick second, so really opting into the team fight power, which I think is a good call when you're this far ahead and you can hard force the way that you can with Vi and Zeri, and really good call.
There we go.
Except, I guess, Victor. Victor likes to play a little bit slower, but outside of that, once you get Quick Blades, GENG should just take a swing at Baron, see what happens.
What if he swings back?
Well, he will. That's a given. It's more about whether KT swing and whether they hit you, which is not a given, considering how their plays have panned out so far. As you know, this looks really silly, but this is what you need to do as
This is the way.
when you're KT, because you're not winning this game if GENG don't make big mistakes.
Yeah.
So
And
it's not interesting, but it's very disciplined play from GENG thus far.
And there have been a lot of teams that have done this
Doran,
in recent times as well.
Don't you dare.
So Doran knows very well. Like this is very
Yeah,
well
which is
practiced
right.
and studied. It feels like
Nothing's been happening for 5
They know that
minutes.
they're both going to be here. Whereas in the past, you know, teams would be caught out by this top.
We're just
tiers
ping-ponging
all the
sidelines and
time.
mid-waves.
They're like, well, I gotta stop the push.
For 5 minutes.
Doran, I think, is playing
Which is fine.
excellently.
Genji's just waiting to get more items so they can do the Baron dance easier.
We're not going to die in the side lane, but also we're not going to.
By having more items, you tank the Baron easier and you DPS it easier. So it's easier to like do the Baron. Baron is also stronger if you do it later than 20 minutes
Just go try and set a Baron.
with a buff.
Engage from KT is okay, amazing. They obviously can get on top of you pretty easily, but outside of that, don't think you'd be too worried. Forcing a teleport from either BDD or Keen really opens up a lot of plays later. GENG's, after their explosive early game, we might have gotten a little bit over enthusiastic, and then he was like, no, let's play for the win. You're 100%, and we'll always get it. And that's what we're getting. Just start a Baron.
Well,
do it. No, still not.
Actually, currently the vision isn't like
Oh, it's not amazing.
perfect around the Baron for GENG. For KT, it's great actually. They have that ward in that very
Okay.
specific spot that we all know about. They also have one pretty close, even a control ward here that's being cleared out.
Yeah, it looks like we really are just playing for Soul. With Mountain Soul, losing is basically impossible. Peanut has been looking in GENG's defense.
He's alone.
This is like his third flank. Well, yeah, he does have stopwatch and radio.
Now they have all the vision control. They could start Baron here.
Yeah.
Not sure how Kate is gonna get in range in time here.
And 40 seconds timer to go on the
They're gonna get counter engage, or they're gonna finish the Baron here, and Baron finished. And now they're gonna engage. Oh, really good ult.
Well, actually, two.
That's a good ult.
Two and a clone. I guess it's good enough as
Pace is hinting.
backline just nuking people.
Never mind, Pace is a genius. Pace is a genius, guys. How did he know he's gonna leave that? How?
I don't think they care too much about that. As now GENG might just end the game.
Yep. Pretty sure they will, Valdez, as we were voicing our complaints about GENG taking it easy. They end the game. Perfect. 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 Clean game from GENG. Don't know what to tell you. KT looked pretty lost. They had the composition that needed to go for early plays. The early plays were masterfully read. And the game was not even remotely close.
Not even close. Like the second KT tried to play to their comp, GENG were just like, yeah, nah. Yeah, nah, mate. Not gonna happen. And they took their time with it. They, as you were mentioning, trying to maybe burn some teleports, burn something.
Nice.
But at the end of the day, they
Nice.
just said, okay, well, we got our quick blades online. Our AD carry has 3 items. Let's do the Baron when we think we have
Nice.
enough room.
That was a good
And
game.
Even the timing on the Baron.
Honestly, early game was a bit more exciting. I think later in the game,
In their eyes, they go for it.
sadly, it felt like...
And
It really felt like
it's the early game, and then it was that.
It's also very easy.
nothing was happening for like 7-8 minutes in a row. Which is not GENG's fault, it is just the meta. Like you can say like, wow, GENG is not doing anything, but like GENG is just ping-ponging waves and occasionally stealing jungle camps and just waiting for objective to spawn. Such is life. Like, once you're ahead, you just maintain being ahead and you wait for the big objectives where they give you even a bigger lead, stacking soul and getting Baron, and then you end the game. That's just how the game is designed, so I can't blame them for not doing anything for 7 to 8 minutes because it's technically correct, but yeah. It's just a bit boring for the viewer experience to watch.
In terms of his positioning and how he was respecting the only win con that was still available for KT. Bays and the light go without saying.
Yeah.
Just, you can only speak in superlatives. Really good game.
Very good stuff. That's all we got
That's
to
all
say.
I gotta say.
Alright, let's talk about the hotfixes, guys.
Like they have been.
So we have some hotfixes, let's talk about the numbers here and what it does, okay?
Otherwise, we might
So first we have Annie,
come here. Either way, guys.
who's gonna be losing base armor level, and E-mana cost is gonna go up by a lot, so she will actually struggle with mana. This matters a lot, but right now I think Annie players go Lianji. If you play like Proto Belt Annie, this is a huge nerf, but you shouldn't play Proto Belt Harry, Annie. Shield potency also goes down by 15%, AP ratio. So honestly, these nerfs to me don't seem very big. Like durability going down, okay, sure. Shield potency being a bit lower, okay, sure. These are bigger nerfs for support Annie than they are for this mana cost. I don't even think it will affect any Annie build almost, like a bit maybe early game only. Yeah, this doesn't seem that big. Now we see Aesol. He's gonna lose 6 health per level, which is not a lot. Then the burst proc AP ratio is gonna go down by 10. The AP ratio in E is gonna go down by 15%. Stacks from units dying inside epic monsters is 10 to 5 and large monsters is 5 to 3. Arthur Shockwave is also gonna lose its slow a bit. I think the biggest nerfs here are the AP ratios. This is gonna make items like Rabadon worse. E AP ratio is probably a big loss because it might mean that he has a harder time clearing minions in especially early parts of the game. With his E is gonna do less damage. The epic monster and large monster going down, honestly, I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's very rare that you get 10 stacks from epic monster anyway, since you actually need to be there and need to use your E anyway. So I think this is not that big of a deal. Large monster also, this only nerfs like his late game when he starts clearing camps and getting E. I don't think this is that big of a deal. Arthur Shockwave, that's kind of a big deal because the slow utility is like, the slow utility is important since the damage and the ability is already underwhelming. Surprised they're doing this. Yeah, I would say AP ratios here are probably the biggest nerf. It still seems playable, like honestly, champion will still be playable, same for Annie. I think these are pretty, not that big of a nerf on hotfixes. So honestly, yeah, we'll see. We will see. Remember, his E is gonna lose a lot of damage though. That kinda sucks. Kale? What do you mean Kale? I think Riot should buff Kale again as a hotfix. You know, what really pisses me off, guys? What really pisses me off is that the only way to know that a hotfix has happened in League of Legends is to check Twitter of a developer. This is the only way to know because this guy tweeted it. It's the only way. If you go to patch notes, and you check the patch notes, and it's here hotfixes, which they're usually on the top of the patch notes. It doesn't say anything. Look, there's nothing. If you go down to Radiant Soul, it literally says that his E has a 40% AP ratio. There's no hotfix here either. It really pisses me off. Like, how a game that is played by millions of players, and the only way to know a hotfix is to check a Twitter by a developer. I think it's a joke. Literally 1% of player base is gonna see the tweet of developer. What would it take Kale to be viable in certain pro play situations? She's not viable. Kale needs buffs. Kale needs to be way better early game to be viable in pro. Because the game is decided too early for Kale to scale nowadays. Or she needs a way better late game, so suffering with her early game makes it worthwhile to wait for late game. Currently none of these are true.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the space. GENG picking up a pretty commanding victory there over KT. Or was it KT throwing it all away? We'll just have to see, Wolf. Let's jump into the draft first.
Yeah.
We thought KT actually had some decent ideas here, but didn't quite manage to execute.
Yeah, KT's draft is fine, right? You have the Lucian Nami, you have Wukong with this, you have a lot of power, and then when this Gnar pick came through, you and I were a little bit concerned. We were like, uh-oh, I mean, Silas is still up, you have Camille, which was the most likely to pick that was going to go. They punish this when you pick Gnar blind. You can run into problems. Could have been Aurelia. There were
Good kill buffs.
Could have gone badly. It's
Better MR.
So you're like,
She has terrible base MR.
you decide to go with the Ryze,
She needs better MR scaling. She needs better execute on E.
looks like a pretty good
The
draft.
old numbers. She needs
Inconsistency
lower CD on ult level 1 especially.
line blocking. You have
Her ult CD is way too high.
to an R, Camille on the top side.
She potentially needs W buff too, because her W costs too much mana, he's too little. Cooldown too
No
high.
matter how good your draft is, if you can't execute on it. Or
I would say cut mana costs on W.
in this game, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more
And, if
spammable.
we bring up our first highlight, we're going to illustrate exactly what went wrong, right? This was Cuz setting up for the early dive, and it looked really good. Like, KT, look at this beginning of the game, right? Like, the map state, gorgeous. Peanuts on the top side of the map, clearing his Krugs. Like, you've eliminated almost an entire wave of experience and farm from Pays and Delight. Now just back away.
They stay
Take your win.
so long that Peanut has the time to recall, walk all the way down. I mean, he walks all the way down here, and you're getting plate gold, right? You're denying CS. You feel good about this.
AD Kale shouldn't be a thing, honestly.
That's the most frustrating.
AD Kale should not be a build in League of Legends. That should be better than AP in any case. That's my opinion.
Still walking down here.
AD Kale is a fucking boring build, because it makes every ability she has useless.
Oh, KT. You know, you had such a nice
You're
lead.
playing an auto-attacker. You're playing a champ that only auto-attacks that has invulnerability on ult.
You stay so long
I think it's fine that AD Kale can be played in low elo, but AD Kale should never be better than AP, in my opinion. Never.
They didn't do it.
It is such a boring champion. It's just auto-attack, auto-attack, auto-attack. And if she has good enough of a stats, you just win. You just win. While AP Kale has way more emphasis to use Q, W, E, and R than AD.
Oh, well, KT still have that 1-3-1 win.
They're both auto-attackers, but AP Kale just has more power with spells, which is how it should be. Which is not as boring.
And we had this absolute mess in the mid lane. We're going to bring it up now, and this is where it really stood out to me that this game was
ADTF, I think ADTF is...
everyone is doing a different
I actually like ADTF.
You're like on 3 different pages.
ADTF is more skilled than AP, no joke.
The rift, the soul
Because
is like-
when it comes to ADTF, it's about at least about like positioning a movement
everyone else
way more than AP. AP is literally like,
for a skirmish
I mean TF is such a
is late. I mean, he just left alone Lahen's
outdated champ.
completely different page.
You just press W and Q and then you run away like a chicken as APTF.
Plate gold. You know, you guys don't show up to contest the Drake, then you take a weird fight and like you either back away.
I'm so sad Riot deleted ADTF build from the game.
With a tidal wave, the Wukong ult is there.
It wasn't even AD, it was technically more like a bruiser-ish TF. It's my god, thank you for the 8 months. I was not here for some time, nice to see some GENG costumes. Hope you and everyone in chat have a good day, nice morning. Thank you.
You no longer have
Yeah, I
to
coach him every Genji
Yeah,
game.
and they already had a fantastic team fighting composition on the side of GENG, right? Like, they get the Gnar, it is unpunished. Doran actually lanes exceptionally well as being able to get towards those team fights where things go fantastically. And seeing
It was on hit TF, I kinda miss it, man. It was so good.
pretty important after we've seen a few dicey situations
It was so good.
On the other side. As KT will choose red side moving into our second game of the night, so at least a little bit of a change up there.
Yeah, I think it means that they're probably not trying to fish for that Lucian win rate or Lucian push anymore because they had a counter pick for top side. It's Ryze Victor, so it's not like, you know, they got counter picked by the Victor and lost the game because of it. So I think side selection not as important as the actual gameplay here.
No, exactly right. But let's see whose gameplay was the best. We're going to bring up POG, and it's Peanut that collects at 400 points now, as he can get to first place, tied with a whole bunch of people, actually, with back-to-back POGs this evening. But he was a pretty standout pick in my mind as well. Just always there to punish outside of it the very, very early game, but his team played really well around him.
Yeah, I mean, he had so many punishes here bottom side. The one we showcased earlier in particular, but it was, I think, the most impactful one. But
this is why I voted for him. They actually went for the dive.
Yeah, they go for the dive because they have so much money. There's so much follow-up damage here. The Zeri is completely online. I mean, I think Doran crushing a Camille as Gnar warrants a few topside votes, so I'll give him some credit there, because that was the other way that KT could have come back in this game, but Doran said no.
Yep, wasn't to be the case. And let's see whether KT can regroup, see whether they can get on the same page and really give us a series here as we throw it back to the casters for game 2.
Guys, it's old news, Kelly is a weak champion. Everyone knows that. Everyone and their mom knows that Kelly is a weak champion. There's a reason Riot is buffing Kale, because she's a weak champion.
Very straightforward win over KT. KT really,
But the buff didn't do anything, her winner didn't move an inch, so... Which means that probably next patch we're gonna see another Kale buff. My prediction is next patch or the patch after that we'll see another Kale buff. In the same... No, I think we're gonna see another Kale buff that's gonna be the size of the buff that we've gotten. They're probably gonna put her E damage up, the percentage E damage up, and maybe her base MR. That's my prediction.
Generally, you'll be able to get Maokai or Ashe. You'll be able to really set off your draft on a very strong note and see if KT is going to be able to.
Jeff suggested a while that TF should have attack speed passive like Pantheon ult has armor passive. That wouldn't be bad, because then you're also incentivized to put points into his ult. It's not a bad idea. You could put attack speed on his ult, and then you could rework his E and give him a new E.
Banning themselves away from the bait picks.
Yeah.
Nice. Makai and Elise seemingly just on the ban list.
Alright, here we go.
Caitlyn definitely.
I genuinely think Riot did a bad job with the Orianna update. I can talk about it after this game. But I think Riot did a really bad job with Orianna buffs.
Doran plays a really mean Gwen. Like, has done expertly well on the pick.
Yeah.
So if you're KT, you don't want to give that up, but you also don't want to give them Cassandra. So in a kind of an awkward spot where you want to pick it, but you know you might get countered.
Yeah,
you
just
don't
avoid
pick
it entirely.
Yeah.
Her Q change is terrible. I don't know what they were doing. I hate her Q change.
Is it just is it like Zeri first pick?
Alright,
Playing thus far.
Zari, Lucian, Nami, Varus, Zari, Lucian, Nami, Varus, Zari, Lucian, Nami, Varus, Cassandra is open, Vi is open, Wukong is open, Sejuani is open. No, Vi is not open.
Yeah, well. Ooh.
What?
Lucian action.
What?
Hasn't been as clean as his Zeri, but Lucian.
No way we pick Lucian before Nami. No way, no way, no way. How? Why? Why?
Success. And it will require
Why?
to play something aggressive, more hang back and scale with Nami picks. Generally haven't worked well. I personally also am a really big fan of the Sona into it. We have seen that be executed very nicely. So alternatively, it's Sejuani and Zeri, which is most likely. And you can hear the drop in my tone of voice because...
Okay, I got this. Okay, so it's gonna be Zeri.
Yes. Oh! Are gonna do
Nami takeaway?
They're gonna steal it away. There it is.
Okay.
Nami.
So you have two options.
So now they're gonna play Lulu,
Sona now, which has
Yumi,
been picked.
Sona.
Risk running into the Draven.
Yumi is very
Very
nerfed.
strong.
But probably Lulu?
Really
I expect Lucian Lulu.
So that is a big risk if the Light is willing to take that. Because what we were expecting, I assume, was Zeri and then Wukong and Nami and then Lulu.
It's gonna be Rel.
Rel.
Yeah.
Rel Lucian
Yes.
into Nami. If you're right, Valdez, I will.
No.
I don't know what. I'll buy you soup tonight.
Yumi
Nerfed Yumi.
told me this champion was deleted.
This is completely nerfed Yumi.
No.
Draven Nami versus non-existent Yumi and Lucian. If Genji botlane doesn't get completely demolished this game, then I don't know what to say.
The first time I think in the PCS,
This matchup should be completely unlaneable.
there have been sightings.
If aiming and hands can 2v2 lane kingdom this, then I CBA.
To an enchanter, so you're not going to feel as threatened as you might, because with the nerfs.
This should be completely unlaneable matchup botlane.
Nerfs to your entire kit. I really thought that was enough. I can't quite outtrade a Draven anymore. That was the
And aiming was a Draven player too, right? It's not like
bottom block and the
yeah, this should be so unlaneable.
so short. No extra movement speed on Zoomies either anymore. So good luck. Delight, not what I was expecting. Draven
Yeah, can they zoom in more into his face? Like, what is the cameraman doing, man? We don't need to see every detail on his face. Like, it pisses me off when they do that so much. Let's zoom completely to see
The Zero ban most likely to come through here as well.
tilted.
Do it? Is it finally time?
He can if he wants to play his 100th game of Azir. This would be the moment.
Probably gonna R5 it or attempt to, and then Genji picks it away.
Cassante, banned, Nar open. Okay, Doran's playing Nar.
Maybe it's just
That's the only thing you have to. Doran's not playing Nar. He's gonna pick Camille now. Look. It's ego matchup. He won Nar versus Camille. Now he picks Camille himself. It's ego and tries to win from both sides. You already know it's happening. Nah, Genji is just copying their job from previous game. Nah, haha, man, it's ego on both mid and top. Nah.
Teams go
Alright, BDD, Victor, let's go.
pick the matchup that you
Lock in Victor.
in
Yeah.
individual lanes.
He won't
This
lock
is-
in
We are
Victor.
picking a champion that has effectively been deleted from the game, and then we have the same draft that you had. Yeah, KT doesn't have the same draft, which obviously.
Kassadin.
acid.
Ooh, that was left open.
Kassadin here. I know Kassadin, very strong.
13.1B Kassadin is still fine. On 13.3 Kassadin gets big nerfs. So
Like, just go in.
honestly, Katie has better draft probably this game.
Where you're actually able
There's
to
no hacking way Draven just doesn't go 20-0 this game.
Not gonna match the shove at all. So
Yeah.
How do you lane this bottom lane? How?
collapse both side lanes by the time the mid game rolls around, and then it becomes about how good a defensive play is for KT. And Yumi's in the game again, and I'm still
Yeah.
frazzled from that. So there's a lot of question marks coming into this one. Genji having fun. Valdez.
They didn't want to play Zona because they expected the Draven, and they said, well, we'll just play Yumi instead. And we'll have to be convinced of this one. We're definitely going to have to keep a close eye on the bottom lane.
Yeah, I'm very skeptical.
That certainly, they need to prove it. Otherwise, she might just be banned again.
Generation gaming, baby.
It is a roller coaster. Currently going down, but then it goes up.
Generation gaming.
Pace fan, very good. Very nice. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's the same
Saying,
draft.
Hens, it's your first time against Pays, isn't it?
It's the same draft. Same draft, except there's Yumi.
There's a Yumi.
We already know what this draft is meant to do. Meant to skirmish, meant to snowball. Same for the bot half, but this time we do have the Kassadin to add certain scaling to the KT comp.
Spanning game 1, not this time. Let's jump onto the rip for game number 2. Why does everybody play the 6-1 skin?
I didn't even see which set skin it was.
It's like it's I don't know. The boar that she rides has like a very plain face.
I can't believe he's playing
That's
Yumi.
my best description.
I can't believe it.
Well,
It's kind of
try
blue.
it. Yeah, there's a ton of those. I don't know the name of the skin. I think
I cannot believe
I
it.
really like-
Swanee person.
Yeah, I really like Hextech and what's the other one? The Firecracker one? Those are my favorites. Firecracker and Piggy.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
I hope we see bot lane laning phase with the camera. I just wanna see how this Yumi is laning this lane.
Didn't we used to see it a lot? I don't know. I haven't
Thoughts on Spellbook Castle? It's terrible.
But maybe you do too. I don't know.
It's not good.
So Yumi is back to remind
Castle is a terrible spellbook abuser. What summoner spell is even good on him?
from the game. By
Exhaust,
Ryan, like, yeah, this is
okay-ish.
the type of gameplay that we want.
Heal and Barrier,
Completely
meh.
within order range, which
Ignite,
kind of ends champion.
okay-ish.
And then also give her a bunch of normal nerfs.
Ghost, terrible.
So
There's just not a lot of value here.
She gets increased auto range when her bop and block is up, though.
that is true. Also, Paze has gone for early Doran's Blade and PTA. So this will
When do I recommend Spellbook?
the
Never.
good old Kraken
Don't play
style
Spellbook.
streak build.
It's a bad keystone.
A lot of frontline shredding power. But I'm just still.
Spellbook is a bad keystone.
And is Genji Icarus in their hubris trying to emulate their opponent's draft? Although I'd argue a bit better because KT ended with Kassadin instead of.
Yeah.
Oh, Troy missed -2.
Really missed the CS guys.
Yeah, it's
It's
over.
over. Actually, he missed 2.
Wow.
He's on 10 after the first 2 waves. It's time to pack it up.
Okay, Peanut trying to salvage this lane.
We gotta go to game. Anyway,
Why are like this is what I don't get. Why are junglers allowed to be level 3 when laners are not even close to level 3?
though, pretty fast. As here comes Peanut, immediate exhaust. As they're probably gonna be looking for Lahens here.
Double flash, double sums burnt.
Will get the flash out. Red buff onto the
Yeah. Well, KT botlane will lose all sums here. Only the flash and Draven.
Be really putting on the pressure. BDD, I don't think he's really going to be able to join this fight. So, yeah, Cuz is just going to come in and try to help him push out the wave, which he will do excellently.
And early trades of summoners favorable here for Genji. As the gank on Chovy didn't really phase him. Just gonna walk back. Is still a good gank here from Cuz. Even if without getting the kill, you release some pressure for BDD. Gonna be able to pick up an early tier. Make sure that he starts stacking that. Chovy did also go for tier on the level 1. So really just looking to try and scale that up as early as possible.
Okay, Yumi's laning, baby.
Play. Also have Lahenzen aiming kind of on the back foot.
Yumi is laning.
Delight's like, I can still auto, right?
Yeah.
Just walk right up to the Draven's face and take an axe.
Imagine if Yumi was still played in pro play.
Strong. You don't have
Even after the nerfs that she got. Imagine
Right as
if she was still pick and ban.
that's yeah.
That would be crazy.
That's what
That would be crazy.
vicious timing.
he's a visionary.
Yeah. Look at Doran getting in there, trading. Keen about to hit Meganar. This big wave hitting Doran's face. He didn't care.
And in the previous game, we saw what happens if the Camille doesn't respect the Gnar. In her case, she was level 5, but 3-6 in general is where it gets very tough. Post 6, not necessarily immediately something that is winnable, but at least you have windows for jungler does visit the top side, which is never, because it's jungle in 2023. But once you have your Sunderer and Kino over steps, there are
A chill little early game.
this position near a wall. Chovy
KT ahead in gold right now.
does in Kassadin, and
Yes.
the complete lack of make pressure is going to remain a problem. Hopefully, Genji will be able to turn this into some early objectives in a way that KT wasn't
Falling
able to.
asleep. Nothing wrong with that.
Doran getting pushed in.
Every human needs sleep.
That's kind of what you can expect. Keen again. He should be the one hitting level 6 first in this one. And then after that, the Camille
Every human needs some sleep.
changes a bit as Peanut returning to the bottom side is about to
Late game this game is Rise or Costream better? Probably Costream.
Side of the map plus jungle do not want to fight.
Because of this guy. Chovy, first roam timer, immediately heads towards bot side. Make sure that if Cuz did go for a fight, it was there to back up his team. Keen is those. If we get a repeat, I swear, Valdez.
You saw Jonas Strong was like zooming in on the minions too. He's like, you know, you want those minions. Are you going to walk into Meganar range? And thankfully he
Lane
did.
gank angle for Cuz here. But Peanut's there because bot lane is a 3v3 lane.
Yeah, it's 3v3. And it's about to be 4v3. I mean, BD does not have TP. He is Kassadin. And yeah, Chovy, as
Okay.
notice, can get down to the bottom lane relatively quickly. Aiming, even going to go for a back. As KT, once again, reaffirming that they don't necessarily want to fight this at this point in time. Level 6
Chovy?
they can actually get into range.
It's fine.
Again, just, you know, no damage. It's Kassadin with the tier.
Ooh, Peanut. He's on the hunt. He's prowling.
Chovy, level 6. Could look for this. Just going to let Peanut do a little bit of poke.
Drake?
And take
We start Jake maybe. Probably not though.
Here, see what mid prio can lead to. Chovy doing
Because
a
bot lane is
great job here,
base.
actually utilizing the
Never mind, he starts Jake.
And it also is such a good showcase of, even with how strong Kassadin is, why the Victor, a pick that we don't love, is so successful into this. Because look at how much pressure
Okay.
Chovy is getting right now. And obviously, it's not leading to kills. It's not, no, why the Victor is good into the Rise. Because
okay.
with what Chovy is able to do now, if he's playing into a Victor, he wouldn't be able to, which is what he did to BDD last game. Because BDD
It's gonna be free Jake for GENG.
neither of them worked out.
Yeah.
And here we see, yeah, BDD is not going to get killed, but that is a first.
That
right?
took a long time to kill.
If GENG keep playing the way they have thus far, should also be able to turn this bot side prio.
So we have Javen Nami
Not a great one.
versus Lucian Yumi. And Lucian Yumi is even TS.
Now that Doran does have his 6 available.
I prefer not to speak.
Into the opportunity to repick
But to be honest, the Peanut gank level 3 did help them a lot.
better and earlier than KT was able to.
In lane.
Yeah. Chovy, he is a guy that got very popular for just insane performances in multiple games in a row, but also in singular games. Everybody remembers his Yone performance, but also definitely one of the biggest plays from 2023 so far was just a simple realm warp into stopping a TP to get his team a dive in the top lane. That was on the rise. He's back on the rise. I would expect him to be continuously even more proactive here, especially in a composition like this where they're going to require him to be all over the map essentially alongside of Doran.
Cast and Ignite. Yeah, it's like the only summoner spell he can swap to.
This game.
Peanut is 6 right now. And is going to get it back in, and then top half camps are all up, and the Herald is a juicy objective that they should be able to go for. The one thing they need to be careful of, which we haven't really talked about, is that KT, if someone mispositions, still has a considerable amount of burst. BDD currently sitting on Ignite. Kassadin, not great, but with the auto reset can really enable Sejuani to get the permafrost stacks very quickly, and then add Keen, maybe getting an auto or free in, and you can run into some troubles for GENG, and as a result, we do see the defensive vision set up.
Resident Sleeper game. Don't worry guys, Herald is being the next objective here.
Gonna really change the outcome here is pace.
Definitely go
Oh,
into this one. Yeah,
oh, they're fine because of Blastcon. Blastcon saved their life.
Blast plant. Very happy those are in the game. GENG
Blastcon saved their lives.
as probably not a good idea to just run into the river when your team is doing the Rift Herald, by the way, for Pays and Delight. So hopefully they learned from that.
Ooh, that was a maybe we realm warp?
Yeah.
Walk there from Chovy, not going to be the case. And yeah, would love to see what happened there. A bit curious of an example. Another note that we see that Pays and Delight are not playing for lane right now, and we see this for more Lucians, but in the previous game this was mostly because they were actually pretty far behind, is that the Dirk is getting skipped. Right? With the Nami, we see that the Dirk is picked so that you can really apply as much pressure as possible in lane. In this game,
Why is bot lane winning?
to the Kraken Slayer as soon as possible. And
I don't know.
they got the Herald as well. This is exactly the type of game you need to
I don't know why bot lane is winning.
KT is you know that Genji is going to
They're
look
too
for a
good.
really aggressive play to try and really accelerate. Like, find a multi-man top play, find a multi-man bot play, and then use the Herald to really ham in on that lead. And if they can counter that and can buy themselves a lot of time, might have an angle. We do know Peanut is here, and Keen, as he should, with Mini, and no awareness of where the jungler is, he's going to play it very safe.
That's what you got to do now. As top lane going to look very different. Keen is ahead by like 8 CS, but not a big deal.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Bottom side very even mid lane pretty even. BD has done a good job of just sticking in it.
And if the game state remains this way and remains even, then KT can look at it very differently. Their front to back is quite strong, have really good front line, a lot of big AoE teamfight ultimates, and one of the ultimate win conditions in the Kassadin when it comes to the later stages of the game, although that is still a large amount of levels off. As
Nothing really happening.
they should know this.
This is such a resident sleeper game.
No summoners, but still KT not willing, especially because guess what?
This is such a slow game.
Us now trying to get on top of Chovy here on the rise, just trying to zone him away from the lane. It feels like
Dorn is struggling a bit.
as he is going to hit that one, but not going to continue as Keen will
Oh my god, Nar is so annoying.
force Doran out of lane.
Wonder how close Doran is to Sunderer. That's a big spike for the Camille. Gonna give you a lot more sustain in the lane. Chovy again taking some grids because he's been very active. They are sitting on a ward here.
He
There
bought
is.
it.
Very nice.
Here's the Rift Herald. Gonna be a big chunk of gold in the bottom side here to the side of Gen G. We do have
Draven has a lot of passive stacks, so getting a kill on him is very important for KT.
kind of getting caught out here. He is
It's
going
very
to
important. If Draven can get the kill, nope.
He's not able to get
No
that
kill
out
for
of bounds.
Draven.
The first blood goes to Nami.
This is gonna make Nami get faster mandate.
This game is
What is Nami building? Oh my god, Nami went Executioners, which doesn't build into mandate, which means
Right on the top side of the
mandate is gonna be delayed by 800 gold.
And now no flash. Flash on in from Doran, and Keen is in a lot of trouble. Not able to go into the Meganar. Very
No
easy,
shot.
as Gen G will get a trade in the top set.
clean setup by Doran, and even with Chovy missing a single orb, doesn't matter. Really nicely done here by Cuz and Lands. Completely predict where Peanut is going to go with his W, and as a result, we'll be able to get the CC chain into death. But again, really unfortunate that Nami dies as, yeah, this is just, like, the positioning from Doran to push Keen away from the turret as well, just really, really nicely done. Good setup there. Able to pull off that play, and now Kraken Slayer is done. So big spike here for pace. Chovy gonna get further accelerated as well with that assist, and Doran gonna feel a lot better in this lane now that he has been able to pick up a kill onto that Gnar. And if they can get a second Draker early on, Gen G is playing perfectly according to the clock.
Yeah. Peanut as well, even though he did die, he didn't burn his flash or anything, so he's going to have it for this follow-up play. Speaking of which, he's
Ooh,
trying
no,
to get
that
on
won't
top of
work.
Cuz, but not quite going to work out. Cyclone now
Oh,
down.
Woken Gold.
Ooh, not great. Peanut, not as good a game as he had in game number 1. Using that ultimate might mean that they can't actually contest for the Drake, or at the very least go for it. Yeah, this is Meganar.
Yeah. Still, good trade to Doran, but
No,
not an overcommittal.
Well, that's my point. That's Meganar, and he's trading like that.
Yeah.
Good cancel from aiming there. So that's bad. That's that's a very bad sign.
Yeah, Sunder, big one. As we do have a fight here, 2v2. That's actually going to hit Chovy, and he's quite tanky, actually, right now with the rod. So he says...
I think Wukong and Ryze are lacking a lot of damage right now. Kassadin and Sejuani have so much HP. Takes forever to kill them.
Control of this mid lane. Top lane continuously now in favor of Doran as well.
And even though
Kraken is good on Lucian here, yeah.
kind of scuffles.
I don't know why Genji is just not fighting for Drake. I don't get it.
On the back foot, but this is okay for now. But KT is holding on, right? Like, yes, they are behind. They haven't really been able to find a lot of proactive plays. But they're also not at the point where, like, okay, there's nothing that they can do. They are still very much on track for BDD scaling up. The Drakes haven't really been accelerated in the way that I think Gen G ideally would be looking for. They're still contesting for objectives very proactively, and now we're going to get the roam up here from Doran. But that will be a big investment if you actually do want to go for that.
Especially because the individual Drake is kind of whatever, but would get you one step closer to the surface. Doran has other ideas in mind. Wants a good trade onto Keen. Neither of these top laners having teleports. BDD goes up into the top river, but
Nothing to say, guys. There ain't anything happening.
Seemingly opting into the Herald.
Genuinely.
Yeah, we don't really care, and cracking open those outer turrets and turning this.
Yeah, not sure what to say.
Bigger one. Good way to accelerate the game. Look at the nerf threats.
We're just ping-ponging every wave. The game is pretty even. GENG may be slightly ahead right now.
Not going to be very respectable yet, so that is going to help them in that regard as well. You saw in the previous fight, right? Like
Just nothing happening.
Yeah, like I don't care.
Maybe Doran can start Herald? No.
Doesn't matter at all.
here's Doran again.
He's running to
It's
Drake.
going to be huge. I mean, Keen, they pinged it a couple of times. I think they know, actually. Seems like
King has no TP.
I don't think he backed, so
Doran is here, but King has no TP.
as they're trying to actually collapse onto Doran, but
They
he
cannot go on him.
nice buff.
BDD is trolling.
BDD goes in onto
Or useless
Doran,
his spell, but
and
Kassadin
completely on the run.
is
There
dead.
is going to be no escape for him. I don't think he does
Or
get
not.
back over the wall, though.
Nice juke by BDD with flash.
Down on the ult, even at level 11. Level 12 here, he is going to be able to get away.
That's a really big win for KT. Yeah, the Drake goes over to Gen G, sure, but not giving up a kill on the Cassin. BDD gets out alive, has a lot of CDR already, and looking just fine here. If they can get this kill on Chovy, that'd be even bigger.
Yeah, he
Doesn't
is.
have realm warp.
Okay, he's got a friend,
He'll be
though.
fine.
Doran?
Uh,
Okay, I guess they just want to fight this, as that is a
they fight this? There's no way they fight this.
after all, as here he goes in onto Doran, and that will be the kill.
Yeah, Doran was too cocky.
Damage not enough, they say. So KT able to get a kill down on the bottom side, and now going even
Chovy has to base.
beyond.
He's very close to out of mana. He would get doof.
Yeah, KT are matching the pace more than nicely. I think they're looking not great,
mean-
but good enough. That's all you really need is this Drake or fast Drake take then leads into a really nice realm warp. But crucially, if you
I mean, GENG won already by burning Costream Flash and getting a dragon. Now they should just back.
they realm warp on top,
Which they do, but then the Doran TP is a bit int.
with Cyclone is
Because he doesn't run after he TPs.
not happening. Chovy runs away. As did BDD just steal?
Javen still no killer assist, which means his passive is at like,
Otherwise it
I don't know how many stacks, but
is zoning them away. Yeah, I don't know why
Javen really has to get a passive
he couldn't because he
going right now.
had it.
They need a kill on Javen.
See, I mean, actually,
Badly.
he's able to get on in there. Will he have to pay for it with his life? He is quite fast.
Doran got Herald.
It's pretty nice. He's doing a bit of damage.
Might have to.
Okay, Peanut actually going to
Oh! It's going to Javen.
He's coming in from
Oh, plus 1,000 gold.
trade that one back. They also get the teleport out of Keen.
Plus 1,000 gold.
It took them, KT, a very long time to kill that Camille.
Still, overall, it's looking messy here, and messiness good for KT. Now,
Oh my god.
plenty of scaling for Gen G. Still, they have Ryze, who scales immaculately, and even though Yuumi got nerfed, those were mostly lane nerfs. The one big change up in how she plays out later is obviously that the movement speed won't be there, which is big for especially AD carries in terms of how much, and for bruisers, how much playmaking they can reliably do. But nonetheless, your scaling's fine, but this is not looking like the Gen G we saw in the previous game, and it's much more going to be how well do you execute the fights. Yeah, Doran stays alive with the hookshot, unfortunately for him. I think it times out, might have gone back in, not 100% sure. And the kill, crucially, does go over the Drake. I don't know how much gold he got, maybe hopefully we'll get a graphic, but that is aiming, cashing in immensely, and would expect him to be in a much better spot in this
Or
game.
didn't Doran eat the wall? I have no idea. Maybe he didn't have E.
Quick blades sure to follow. Next,
Surely.
oh, I don't know, maybe you'll go rapid fire cannon.
Ooh, that hurts. We'll see. See what he goes for. As this is a much more even game. KT now taking the gold lead even.
I'm liking their position.
Mountain Soul going to be relevant to both sides here. He has some support, so he's playing pretty far up, and looks like he should be okay unless Peanut wants to force a fight.
I love how close.
Costream's gonna get Rod of Ages spike soon. If he gets to 14 right now, it means he's gonna be to 15 for free.
Let's everyone in chat pay attention.
So tracking Costream XP is very important here, but
To one
still,
are they?
he's very close to 14 most likely. BH.
Put orders will be
Say
fine,
hello.
but it's only 3 more minutes. Or 3 more levels, rather.
Warmock versus Sejuani.
Nuts. Well, it is 3 more minutes for Roa, but you know what I mean. Until the game becomes a lot harder to play.
I know.
Crucially for GENG, if you get a Mountain Soul, even casting it becomes a lot more.
It's literally just ping-ponging waves 24/7 this game.
Even with the goal that Aiming got off of that kill, he probably is going to finish.
Shouldn't come in Reef Herald top in.
Goes back here, assuming he
I'm
was
not
right.
sure. Maybe she wants to keep it for fast recall right now.
Yeah, he
Finished.
One more wave into Dastance or whatever he's building.
Doran's trying to kill this
Doran
turret.
is gonna
I don't know why
die.
He keeps doing this, but he's in a lot of trouble. He's trying to trade back now onto BDD, but even he's not too confident. Okay, flash away from the one ult. As now he's
BDD just missed 5,000 ults.
And Doran,
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh, that's such a tilter.
I mean, it was a good bait and a good outplay, but BDD just missed 50 ults as well.
oh no. Joey should win that, I think, actually.
Joey wins here, Sarah Shield, he can die, he can die, he can die.
Wall, and there he goes.
Okay, nice, nice!
Down to Drake, now to
Third J going to GENG now, that's a soul point, very nice.
When the game is this close, Doran baits in. The
Very
captain,
nice,
he
very
is not
nice.
alive.
That's
The team gets it.
That's a generous interpretation. Doran, with his 2 pickaxes, walks up to the turret like, I can take it down. He's like, pickaxe.
Yeah, I hope they show a replay. I hope they show a replay.
Seen.
The turret still stands. Somehow. And if you're BDD, you get that kill, and you further accelerate yourself towards that level 16 casting. You get maybe a 3rd item online.
Wait, they're going barn, they're going barn.
That is
Maybe.
really we either win the game or lose the game.
No, there's no way they can barn here. This barn is int call.
Backing, so
There's no way, there's no way. Why are they barring? Why are they doing barn?
I think you peace out.
I mean, Sejuani can just heal with Warmock, so losing HP is not a big deal.
damage now to Doran, but he's
Doran's
being
that.
isolated in the top side. Big ultimate from him, just trying to stay alive, but it's not quite enough.
Here.
As the fight has been faded out very
This is
nicely,
not
but
good.
it's a big
Nice zone, yeah.
only gonna catch the Meganar, as now
Whoa,
back,
whoa,
get
it's
away
over.
from aiming. He's just running, but the rest of his team
It's
is
so
going down.
over. Oh my god. Doran again getting caught.
And BDD, yeah, I think you're fine here against Peanut. Does have his ultimate, but even with that, look how little damage he's taking. Nami's there.
Yeah, he's trying to get this kill out of BDD. He will be able to. BDD missed
Peanut outplayed him.
ultimates onto.
What is BDD doing again though?
Oh, he doesn't. Oh, he doesn't.
Oh my god.
No, he's not now. He's not gonna.
Is, maybe he will. I mean, no.
You can't, you
That's
can't.
the job.
All right.
Oh, that was a 4 versus 5, friends. Or actually a 3 versus 5 because neither Yumi. I want to see this.
Okay, I wanna see this too.
I can get
So Doran just straight up griefs, tries to go for tower, but can't finish it. And then he dodges, he didn't even dodge that ult with R.
Gets the shield.
Flashes one.
The next ultimate.
And then here, this one is the problem, the last one.
Sunray heal.
The other ults, I get why BDD didn't hit.
Great.
Or at least he didn't hit only one because of the flash. But the last ult was a big problem by BDD.
But then here they can play it slow.
This barn call I think is absolutely grief. The problem is that Doran gets caught over the wall.
Yeah.
And they don't wait for Lucian Yumi to arrive.
And Trophy or Payson and Delight aren't
Lost vision in the bush, but he should still be able to hit it.
Look at the damage here from Amy. Oh my god.
what
Aiming on
80 carry.
the, yep. Aiming on the Draven, looking real hot, and then this is just a sick play from Peanut. Involves some BDD mistakes. Sidesteps there, gets the full cyclone off, and even with lands there, gets the stealth, gets the flash auto. Nicely done, but the Baron still goes over.
Yeah.
And now the gold lead in favor of KT. BDD is level 16, cleanse at the ready.
Cleanse.
And
The cleanse Kassadin.
I'm pretty sure we're going to a game number 3, Veldas. From this point on, Katie should be feeling mighty fine.
Let's see how it goes.
Katie has a better team comp. Carsten is pretty much unstoppable at 16 this game, which he has 16 now.
I've seen some mistakes already.
I have a hard time seeing what GENG is gonna do.
I shouldn't call it too soon. It's a very good point.
I have a very hard time seeing what GENG is gonna do this game.
You know, he's on similar level because of his own rod, and he's been farming it out very well. As there's gonna be a miss on that one, but no hook shot.
Stopwatch, pin throw is there.
Broken.
This is
Looks
fine.
like KT will accept that for now.
Good vision control as well. Lots of flank wards here to make sure that they don't get caught off guard. And thus far, the Yuumi not looking too hot. It's a good sign. We haven't really had a lot of the kind of 5v5s that we've seen her excel in traditionally. Aiming doesn't have BT yet, which is big. And it all comes down to the next fight. If GENG can get this soul, either with a flip, or preferably with a one-team fight, they might be fine. Outside of that, like once Aiming gets his BT, BDD is going to get...
Yuumi is very useless this game. Very useless.
Harder and harder to chew through that front line. I don't know how close Pace is to his quick blades. That would be a really big spike for him to hit as they go into the next fight. But I don't even know if he has the time.
You look tired today. Yes, Shanna. I'm tired.
Wonder, based on his movement, not going to be the case. So that is, there it is, BT for Aiming. Going to be very, very tough to kill. And as you point out, like, what are you going to do? Try to side lane against the level 16 Kassadin? Try to split push 1-3-1?
I don't know how GENG went willingly into this game and draft literally the same exact draft Katie did last game and thinking it's good. It's mind-blowing to me. What a troll drafting.
Whereas, hey, KT, Lens has one, BDD has one. It's looking good for them.
I think it's weekend, so we're right in no league. It's playoffs today, John. I have to live your LEC.
And they're just gonna try to rush it down and zone away Peter.
Well, that's no soul for GENG. That sucks.
That is the one Mountain Drake to the side of KT and a denial, most importantly, of the Mountain Soul to GENG.
Individual Drakes really big for KT. A lot of health stackers on their end, because Keen both going to be very happy with that. And even BDD at this point is getting to pretty respectable health numbers. We see the same for Chove, right? I think he has like 3.4k HP. Yeah, there you go. Pretty substantial amounts overall. And Aiming, if he doesn't die in these fights, you're not going to win. GENG, Pace is able to... it's not just Aiming, that's the problem. BDD now also finishing a stopwatch. Is it going to be a soul flip into a quick GG, or is KT just going to set up around the next Baron, take that shove in, and force GENG to respond?
Yeah, the next Baron I think is going to be the key objective here. Both teams are going to be gunning for that one. KT, if they pick that up and they continue with their lead, it's looking pretty set in stone. But if GENG are able to get a decent fight, if they're able to somehow get position on the Baron, this could go differently.
It's not done yet, crucially, but KT is in a commanding lead here. And as long as they are able to keep their carry safe, should be fine. The one issue is Doran. Doran definitely doesn't die very easily and should be able to dispatch of Keen rather handily. Although, due to how a lot of the plays went, even with Doran surviving a top half play is still substantial.
Nothing to say, guys. Nothing to say.
Keen, a lot more fed, extra assists, a decent amount of extra CS as well.
Nothing to say.
Junglers find each other, cuz not scared of anything at this point.
This jungle fight won't trust anything.
Peanut
Orson
does have a good setup, being both Wukong and having his cleaver finished, but you know, this game is not going to be decided by who wins the 1v1 between Sejuani.
300 CS Lucian.
Unless things get really
Yeah.
weird.
They can test it out.
Lucian's doing very well in the CS department.
In the 1v1. Peanut's cheating though, he's got a cat on the book.
Yeah.
With him.
We are seeing the cat resurgence here, but is it enough? Is Baron about to get started up? Good vision control here. KT grabbing Prio in the top half of the map. Doran and Keen both have teleports available as well. And the item really mostly parity here. The gold lead for KT, not that big a deal. Much more about how the fight will play out as Pace is able to pick himself up a Lost Whisper.
Yeah, that is going to be
It's really one
pretty
misstep.
nice for the Sejuani.
This is nerfed Yumi, so her W doesn't even give you good stats anymore when you're sitting on champions.
Full control over this Baron area at the moment.
Not sure what they were thinking.
Yeah, I would love to see KT be a bit... Oh, there we go. That's proactive. That's what we want. Because if you don't do anything, then at some point GenG is also gonna like... Camille's gonna get a GA. And Camille also scales insanely well and is one of the few things that can actually threaten aiming in the back line. If Chovy or Peanut can get that line access as well. So, would love for KT to try and force GenG to make a mistake. Thus far, not really happening yet.
They know exactly where they are. Like, pings are going down. Okay, they're there. Like, Lucian W goes out. Blue Ward, the Baron. But
Don't worry, guys. Fight is gonna happen soon. Dragon has a stopwatch.
have to go back
Ready.
and buy some stuff. There are some moments as, yes, GA is complete for Doran.
Yeah, they're giving them too much
Oh,
time.
Gia and Camille. Pretty huge buy.
Okay.
Okay. Baron's being started right now.
Notice that Doran has gone back. Will he even TP into this fight? It doesn't look like it as Relmore just to get some...
Peanut has the flash. Two ults burnt.
Pull off as now
Chovy in a lot of trouble. Face rushes away.
rushes. In goes GenG trying to take this fight, but
There's no damage. GenG has no damage.
trying to team fight here as the Camille. It's not
GenG has no damage.
BDD and Amy
Oh my god.
in the river.
It's over.
They'll be able to take down three of them and look to
It's
push
over.
And that should be the game, and KT,
It's over.
the hubris of GenG to draw
Chovy's
for the
dead
same
too.
thing.
Yeah.
Not gonna pay off for them, BDD. Cathartic moment there. KT going to...
No damage.
Nicely done here by the team that showcases again from
What a terrible draft.
completely different.
How do you draft their team comp from game 1 and pick Yumi on top of it, which is a worse champ than Lucian Army,
Because
and think it's a good draft and go into the game? How?
he eventually just got ahead. And now they're
That's a deserved loss completely.
down the turrets
Garbage
and
ass drafting.
anything except bolster his
Absolute garbage ass drafting. Did the light read that Yumi is not a champion anymore, perhaps?
It's one big upside to this.
Oh, yeah, I'm so mad now.
Cat's still dead.
Cat's
Still dead.
still dead,
And
seemingly.
seemingly, I'm taking it. She lost. You know, people are like, had no pressure in lane, didn't do anything. Ults look lackluster. There's no movement speed anymore. I can do the big zoomies outplays. Not a thing. And KT, after a game 1 where they overforced, this time around, they literally partially helped by GenG picking the same draft.
They're in the patch where Yumi is
Came
nerfed.
back, you know, very cognizant of what the GenG comp is trying to do. Able to, yeah, sure, you know, we have some misplays left and right. There's a couple of Drakes that are being
They
stacked,
picked
but
nerf Ryze
that
too,
much
which is not a good champ.
and
It's
really
just so
just
sad.
Doran on the top half of the map where Amy
Yeah, guys, I don't think there's any review to be had this game. Just tell your coaches that this draft was terrible.
needed.
That's it.
Results, GenG
That's it, guys.
to get
KT wasn't a better team, they just had a better draft. It's okay, guys.
32 minutes.
We're just gonna have to draft human champs and we'll win.
Online. And it was just good for them to
Unbelievable.
basically all go even for about 20 minutes.
all they needed.
They didn't give up the Mountain Soul.
Unbelievable.
Take the one and only Baron and just take a more solid game from them. And it's going to be interesting. I don't think we're going to see Yumi anymore.
Have you ever said to your coach that the draft was dog shit?
Especially now that KT
Every day.
has, shown, you know, once again,
Every day I
I'm just
told
gonna
them.
let you get Lucian Nami.
Today has been marked by the, or at least in this series, the superiority of Red Side, and also
Every day.
what happened to Varus?
That's why they hate me.
Who is that?
I'm toxic.
Yeah, I don't know. Not in the game.
I don't know who
clearly.
ours is. Not with us. Either way, guys, we are done for this game. Let's take a break and go to the space afterwards.
Astractus is your favorite teammate ever? I don't have a favorite teammate. My stomach is growling. Uh-oh. What's your top 3 for strongest late game champs? Top 3 strongest late game champs? Cassante. Honestly, what are top 3 strongest late game champs technically? I think Syndra is really strong. I think Cassante is really strong in certain team comps. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know actually. I don't know. I don't know. There's so many good late game champions. It's hard to say. It depends on the context. Gwen is really good, yeah. Gwen is really good. The Blanc is good late game. Permaband. Your permaband. Alright guys, we're waiting for the next game. Do I agree that the game is in a shit state right now? No. Because it doesn't matter how you feel about the game. Your feelings do not represent the game state. There's too many players playing this game. Some players will always feel the game is shit, and some players will always feel the game is nice. Balance seems okayish, but matchmaking and the rank system are trash. Everyone you ask is gonna give you a different opinion. If you ask me, the balance is garbage. Balance is boring as fuck. Pro play meta is disgustingly boring, with every champs being the same every draft. But my opinion doesn't matter. Wukong student, thank you for 100 bits. It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter. TLDR is... We're all addicted to this game. What champ would I like to see in pro play? Karthus. I think Karthus is the most underrated pro play champ. Probably. That was a nice song, a little nice song. How about this analyst desk now too? Let's play another one. Why is Yoder not being picked in pro right now? Because pro players deemed to not... For Udyr to not be strong enough to be played. Who knows? Who the hell knows? I have to admit how uncomfortable is sitting on this. There's no back support for your back. That has to be so uncomfortable. Would honestly love to watch Keanu in pro. I think for viewing experience, Assassins are probably entertaining to watch. Yes. For viewer experience, Assassins are probably very entertaining to watch. However, it's way too hard to make Assassins be viable in competitive. Because you can't. It's not possible to make them viable in competitive. They're gonna break the game in solo queue completely. You would have to buff Assassins so hard that in solo queue they would reach 55+% win rate. So Assassins would be completely overtuned in solo queue at that point. And even then, professional players are just good at playing around Assassins. You guys just don't get that. The game is slower, Assassins get no kills, no assists, so they don't snowball, and people play coordinated team play versus Assassins. An Assassin turning up in pro play will only happen when it's a newly released champion where players have no clue what it does, and even then it's gonna be hard though, because Assassin would probably be already hotfix nerfed at that point if it's the OP, and it would be figured out probably by them because it would be in the game for long enough. I don't know. I just don't think Assassins are ever happening. Maybe like once in a while, and you know, Cassante if you count him, I guess. Cassante feels more like an assassin than any assassin does. Yeah, Isa got nerfed. The changes are gonna be impactful in a way for wave clear and stuff. Kassadin, you could count Kassadin as an assassin, but not really. Like, is Kassadin really an assassin? Kassadin is like a bruiser assassin, where he like plays like an assassin, but he's not tanky as a bruiser. With his health, you know? So honestly, like, he has crazy mobility too, so I don't know. Akali? I mean, I guess you could count Akali as an assassin, but number 1, she's terrible. Number 2, she's not being played. Or she shouldn't be played. She's genuinely terrible. Wait, Alice, to get some washed up Akali gameplay today? I don't think Alice is gonna play Akali. You know? Ain't watching Alice since Fnatic is out. Honestly, it's for the better. Imagine watching a best of 3 where Fnatic loses again. That would be a disaster.